The story you know, the lesson you don't. This is PR Lessons from History your business can't ignore. Sometimes an idea spreads because it gives people hope. Sometimes it spreads because it gives people someone to blame. But the most dangerous ideas spread for a different reason. They give people language for something they already feel. My name is Todd, and I'm the storytelling guy. Today we're exploring why language becomes powerful when it gives people a way to explain their own frustration. Karl Marx was a 19th century philosopher, economist, and political theorist whose writings on class, labor, and capitalism shaped political movements around the world. In the 1800s, industrial life was transforming Europe. Factories were growing, cities were expanding, and workers were facing long hours, dangerous conditions, and little control over their own futures. Many people felt the pressure. Marx defined that pressure with words: class struggle, alienation, labor, exploitation. These were not just academic ideas. They became a way for people to describe what they believed was happening to them. But here's what most people miss. During his own lifetime, Marx was largely ignored. His ideas did not spread because the world immediately understood them. They spread because the tension was real. Marx just gave it a name before anyone else did. And when conditions were right, decades later, his language was already waiting. Leaders, movements, and revolutions picked it up and carried it further than Marx ever did himself. That is why his writing eventually traveled so far, not simply because it made an argument, but because it gave people words for a conflict they already felt. And when the moment arrived, those words were ready. In business, the same thing happens. The companies that break through often do not invent a problem out of nowhere. They name a problem people already have. They give language to frustration, to inefficiency, to fear, to a change in the market that people sense but cannot yet explain clearly. And when you name the tension better than anyone else, you become part of how people understand the category. So here's the lesson. The most powerful messages often begin by naming the tension. Not the product, not the solution, the tension. Because when people hear a message and think, yes, that is exactly how I've been feeling, they lean in. A great story does not start with an answer. Sometimes it starts with a diagnosis. And the company that defines the problem often becomes the one people trust to solve it. In the next episode, we explore Warren Buffett, a business leader who built one of the strongest reputations in modern investing by understanding that restraint can be a competitive advantage.